This is the plaintiff, Renee. She says her ex-girlfriend, the defendant, changed the locks on her at the apartment they shared, stole her belongings, won't give them back, and she's suing her for every penny she's owed. The girl's gone mad. She's not going to allow her to get away with taking her stuff, and she thinks the judge will agree and award her the $10,000 she's seeking. This is the defendant, Jade. She says the plaintiff attacked her one night, bit her like a dog right on the breast, and she ended up filing a restraining order against her. According to that restraining order, the plaintiff had 24 hours to retrieve her belongings. She gave her extra time so she could move everything she wanted, and that was that. Now the girl's suing all this time later for things she abandoned? Come on. She's accused of letting a lover down. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,017 for hospital bills and pain and suffering.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Peter, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, you've asked to be referred to only as Renee.
Yes.
And you've asked to be referred to only as Jade. Renee, you are suing Jade for $10,000 in items that you left behind when she got a restraining order and got you out of the apartment that the two of you shared,
Yes.
plus pain and suffering. You are suing for $5,000.17 for injuries that you say you sustained during the breakup because apparently it got physical.
Yes.
Okay, tell me what is going on, Renee. You start.
On July 31st, we got into a physical altercation. I ended up going to the ER.
Is that the first time you two had gotten into a physical altercation, or has it happened before?
No, that was the first time.
How long had you two been dating?
We were together 6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
And how long had you been living together?
2.
2. What happened? What was the reason for the altercation, if there's ever a good one?
We were broken up at the time, and she was trying to get me to move out. So she started saying, okay, since we're going to be living together, since your bedroom is bigger, I feel like you need to pay more rent. And I disagreed. I felt like, we've been splitting everything 50-50. It should stay that way. So the next thing I know, we end up getting into altercation.
Well, how did that happen?
I was folding clothes. I had him on the left seat and the couch, and she sat on the clothes. And I moved the clothes, and she says, if you touch me again, I'll f you up.
How did you move the clothes?
She was sitting on it. I moved the clothes from under her. Next thing I know, she stands up and starts socking me and drags me off the couch.
Who hit who first? According to you, she hit you first.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
And trying to defend myself, my nail broke, as my acrylic and my real nail broke off. So I went to the ER that same day.
Did she have any injuries?
I bit her. She was on top of me. I could not get her off of me. To get her off, I had to bite her.
So as it turns out, you find out, how quickly do you find out that she went out and got a restraining order against you?
This was the next day, but when I came back after.
And so in the restraining order that you get against her, according to you, it's a very different story of the physical altercation, correct?
Yes.
What is it you say happened?
We got into the altercation. She was folding clothes on the larger couch. I told her that I was going to come into the living room and watch a movie. And so I told her I was going to sit on the little couch because it had been a lot of childish antics that were going back and forth.
What was the problem? You guys were good for 6 years. Like, what was the problem?
Well, when we separated, she started seeing other people. I started seeing other people. And
you were still living under the same roof?
Yes. So it was just conflict just based on that reason solely.
How long had you been living under the same roof, broken up?
Since January.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, we were friends before.
Well, you were friends before, but it's hard to be friends after.
Right.
It's kind of different, isn't it?
It's much different.
Okay, so go on.
So I informed her that I was going to sit on the little couch, and she decided to take her clothes from the big couch and say, no, I'm folding here. And I informed her, how can you use both couches? I would like to sit down and watch the movie. So I took her clothes and I moved them and I put them back. They were still folded as well. And she said, don't touch my clothes. And I said, well, I informed you that I was going to sit before I touched your clothes.
Doesn't it sound ridiculous as you're talking about right now? Like, aren't you humiliated right now explaining this in my courtroom?
Ridiculous.
All right, go on.
And so, so then she put the clothes back. I sat on the clothes. She pushed me. I told her, do not put your hands on me again. She put her finger on me. I said, no, I didn't say your finger. I said your hand. Yes, very childish. So she pushes me. She pushes me again. And so I get up and I take her clothes basket and I empty them all onto the floor. she gets up and she attacks me, and then we
How?
just begin. She, like a football player, kind of like, she just ran at me and tried to, I guess, knock me down. I don't know what she was trying to do.
And what happened?
And then we began fighting after that,
How did you fight?
like fist fighting.
Okay.
And then the altercation, she pushed me, and then her finger got tangled into my shirt. And when I pushed her off of me, I guess that ripped her nail off. And so we continued to fight. I had blood on my shirt.
Who hit the first punch?
She did. We continued to fight. Then she got me on the ground, and she was on top of me. I'm trying to push her off of me, and she's still coming at me like this, and she bites my breast. She scratched my other breast. I have scratches. I also have the pictures to show both sides of my breast. She scratched my right side, and she bit my left side.
Let me see. I know you both have pictures of your injuries. Did anybody call the police that night?
No. The police report was done the next day, the same day I got the restraining order, and I didn't get the police report.
What time did you go to court to get a restraining order?
Early in the morning, first thing in the morning.
Who gave you that advice?
Both of my moms.
Your mom and your stepmom?
Yes,
Who's with you here today?
my mom.
Good God.
Like a dog.
Well, you both acted like animals, frankly. I mean, I don't know who hit the first punch and who didn't hit the first punch. I know, whoever hit the first punch and put the first finger, and, 'cause it sounds like you're both right there in there, you know? So you get a restraining order the next day.
Yes.
And it served on you later that day.
Later that day.
All right. In the restraining order, it says that you need to get all of your stuff out of there immediately, right?
If I have a restraining order, I'm not able to go in.
No, you're able to go in and escorted by a police. Show me everything you got served with. You're able to go in escorted by a police. It's a tactic. I know why she did that, and I know why her mother gave her that advice. It was very good advice. It makes you get out of the house and get all your stuff out. You're both on the lease, right?
Yes.
This is a tactic that has been used for years, ever since restraining orders came about. And that, which obviously have a very good place in our system. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. The problem is not the system of restraining orders. The problem are the people who may be abusing it.
Right.
That's where the problem lies. In any event, show me what you got served with that day.
And the restraining order itself was bogus.
I don't know what that means. The restraining order got granted on the 22nd and made into a permanent. Is that incorrect?
No, it was
Incorrect.
not made into a permanent. It was thrown out on hearsay. Her word
So it was
against my
thrown
word.
out on the 22nd?
Yes.
All right, but see, the real relevant question is what was in effect from August 1st through the 22nd, which is that there was a court order telling you to get your stuff out immediately.
Okay.
Right? Does it or doesn't it?
It does.
And then what happened?
Okay, I got a text message August 4th saying that I needed to have everything out by the 9th or it'll be trashed. So I went August 8th, met up with her mother. I got enough things. I got trash bags, tried to put clothes, things from the kitchen. I ended up giving things to the neighbors, and I still had stuff there. And once I got there, her mother, I think I got there around 10:45. Once I got there, her mother had to, all of a sudden said she had to leave. So I had till 1:30 to get everything. So I got
I just don't understand how a 6-year relationship ends up like this, where you don't give a person a couple of weeks to go ahead and get the bed. It's furniture. It's hard to move. How would you be able to do it?
That's why I gave her from the 1st to the 9th.
Oh, that was so generous of
Well-
you. Except for that, it sometimes takes longer than that to get your act together to be able to move furniture.
Correct. But she never stated on the 9th, which was the last day.
I see a series of texts where she then, and later on in the month, asked, can I pick up my stuff? And then you folks say to her, hey, you had your chance. And then after that, according to you, you see it sold on Craigslist?
Yes, she posted the bed on Craigslist.
When? Do you have a copy of it?
Yes.
Did you still have it after the 9th?
Yes, I still have the
What's
bed
your
now.
problem then?
After the
You have it now?
Yes, it's still there, and that's why I really.
Well, when she tried to pick it up in August, why didn't you just let her pick it up in August? You'd be done with her.
Because by then it was my current girlfriend was there, and they had hostility between them, and I didn't
Why
want any
don't
extra.
you ditch the drama and put your big girl panties on and handle your own stuff? I don't get it. All right, tell me about your counterclaim against her.
My counterclaim is for, it's $5,000. It's for the biting, the ER, the dermatology, and the course of
Tell me about the dermatology.
The dermatologist and the course of plan that they had me set up to try to get my breast back to the way that it was originally in.
Right.
The storage
What
fees-
was that? What did they do?
They gave me, it's a couple of things. They gave me 3 different things. One has a steroid in it, and it's supposed to make the tissue form back into all of the pockets that it's not in. Another one is like a scar. It's similar to a Band-Aid, but it's stronger, and you put it on there and it'll make it smooth. And then the other one is to stop the pain, because I get lightning strikes in my boob from the tissue not being in the correct place. So it's supposed to help with the pain that I...
When you say lightning strikes, you mean
it's
sharp pains?
yes,
is what you
it's
mean.
surging sharp pain in my breasts.
Wow. So you're suing for pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering, the storage fees.
What are the storage fees?
It's $2.50 a day from August 1st until she gets all of her items out.
Wait, but I have your text where you're saying it's too late for you to get your items out. So how are you going to sue her for storage fees for stuff that you wouldn't let her get out?
She only attempted to get it out once.
I'm sorry, I have your text and your mother's text where they're saying, no, you may not get anything else out. That you're done. How are you then going to sue for storage to the tune of $560 when that stuff you wouldn't let her get out?
Because afterwards she stated that she knew that it was a lie and that we still had the items. And so...
And then she should have broken in and gotten them?
Well, actually, she did break in before that. She did break in.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So would you ever live under the same roof with somebody who you just broke up with? What do you think?
No, never.
Why?
It would be too awkward, running into them, and I don't know.
Yeah, but what if it's like an amicable breakup and you just didn't, it didn't work, but you don't hate the person or anything?
I still think it's a bad idea. Shouldn't do it.
Anybody think you should do it? Anybody think it's okay?
It depends. If he's paying half of the rent, why not? Hey.
Oh, so it's all about money, huh?
Exactly.
I got it. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
When the locks were changed for the restraining order, she did break in.
Look, I'm giving you a lot of grief. You deserve a lot of grief too. This is an unfortunate situation. Relationships of 6 years break up all the time without this kind of drama,
I agree.
violence, and hatred.
I agree.
They really do. There was no reason for this one to break up this way. It's insanity. Do you have any how long had you had this bedroom furniture?
4 years.
How long had she had that bedroom furniture?
4 years.
It sounds right. Do you have a receipt for the actual bedroom furniture?
No, I don't have a receipt. I tried to go to the place I got the furniture from. They're no longer open. So I went online and kind of got about a guesstimate of about the price. I have pictures of both and online.
I'm concerned about many things. There is, in fact, a court order, the beginning of August, that says get your stuff out immediately. Mm-hmm. Immediately is a term of art. It's not 24 hours, it's immediately. So it's up to a judge to interpret how immediate something is immediate, all right? It is one thing to get your dresses out immediately. That shouldn't take any time at all. It is another to get furniture out immediately. Immediately is going to mean something a little bit different for furniture. Okay? By 8 days after that order, she was told, too bad, so sad, you're out of gas. By 30 days after that order, by 22 days, the order was no longer in effect because it was abolished. But by 30 days, when she's saying, look, can I get my stuff? Let me make arrangements. Tough. August 9th, you had to get your stuff out here. So I find that she had no real way to get that stuff out, particularly because I think you got the worst of that fight. I think that fight was very spontaneous. I think it's going to be really hard to figure out who threw that first punch. I think you were both in it to win it at that moment. I think you're both equally culpable for what happened there. Not that I think your nail being ripped off is not awful, but you won't believe how that looks, okay? But it doesn't matter who ends up getting the short end of the stick after the fight happens. It matters why the fight happens, how the fight erupts. And I think that this is what we call in the law mutual combat, where you're just both at it at the same time. Mm-hmm. It is impossible to figure out who started it in this case. So your lawsuit against her for physical damages and hospital bills, and your lawsuit against her for physical damages and hospital bills, neither one of you are going to win it because there's no way either one of you could sustain that burden of proving who started it here. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, as for the items that you're suing about, here's how I rule. I find that you were entitled to the depreciated value of the items because I don't think that the opportunity that you were given to remove your items out of there was reasonable. I am ordering her to pay you $1,500 for the depreciated value of those items. As for your lawsuit against her for storage, which is pretty much the last thing left, because of the reasons that we've already discussed, the answer to that is no. Do you want to just get your furniture?
Please.
She already said it was gone. I don't know if she's damaged it or what. She said
Yeah,
it was.
that's a problem. I don't even want, that's the problem is that there's no civility anymore. I'm not going to do it. You can get rid of the furniture. Yeah, that's the situation you placed yourself in. $1,500 verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff takes $1,500 in this decision, and the defendant comes out here empty-handed. What's your reaction?
I'm fine with it. I really just wanted all her items out of the bedroom in the first place. If she really wanted them, she could have texted me or texted somebody
How did things
else.
get this bad between you two?
I don't know.
What have you learned about yourself?
I learned to know when a bad relationship is bad and not to stay in it for 6 years.
All right. Right down this way, okay? All right, so the judgment goes your way. You satisfied with what you come out with here?
Yes, I'm glad everything's over with and I can move on. It's pretty sad that she had to lie. I could have got my things without having to come here.
Same question to you. How did things get this bad?
I have no idea. Just glad it's over with.
What have you learned about yourself?
To never stay that long and.
Same thing she said. Harvey?
So here's the deal. An assault is an assault. It doesn't matter whether it's part of a breakup or not. It is a crime.